The issue of childcare made its way into this week's vice presidential debate, with both Tim Walz and JD Vance observing that more needs to be done to support young families. And with early voting already underway in some states like Virginia, some directly affected by childcare, children, have also been taking time recently to make their voices heard too. Yeah, those are preschoolers in Virginia casting votes on one of the most important issues impacting their day-to-day lives. Which cartoon dog is the best character on Paw Patrol?
I like Rubble.
You like Rubble?
I like Chase. I like Chase.
There sure are a lot of highly qualified animals working to protect Adventure Bay, but they can't all be favorites. And in this particular contest, a hard-fought primary race first weeded out the Nikki Haleys and Lincoln Chaffees of the animated dog world. The 3 to 4-year-old voters then wrote their names in crayon under pictures of the 2 remaining candidates: Chase, the Law & Order German Shepherd, and Skye, the experienced pilot cockapoo.
You think, okay, they're preschoolers, they're infants, they don't know what they're doing, like, no, they know what they want. They might not know how to express themselves, but that's why we're here, to help them, to mold, to guide, and teach them how to be a better citizens.
That's a teacher who spoke to the Associated Press at this place, the ACA Childhood Development Center, a preschool that's giving kids a jump start on civics education with the goal of raising good citizens and strengthening democracy. Here's the director of the place.
Making your voice count matters, no matter your age, no matter what color of skin you have, no matter what accent you have. That voicing your opinions, voicing your dreams, and working towards them is something that we all should be able to do. Giving children the opportunities to practice that through play in safe environments, I think could be something that could bring back wonderful outcomes in the future.
Now, given all these kids are preschoolers, they're not yet learning about the 3 branches of government, how a bill becomes a law, or what a filibuster or a priebus is. Instead, as another teacher notes, they're helping these kids learn key life lessons and social skills, like how to be considerate and how to deal with anger and disappointment.
To be better problem solvers and to be better equipped socially, emotionally. Because once they have a handle on that, I feel like things they accomplish and things they do will make a better impact in this world.
This preschool and some others rely on a book called Education for a Civil Society, a title that teaches democratic life skills like inclusion and cooperation. And its author told the AP that the most important civics lesson kids like these can learn is about social democracy.
1, 2, 3.
How many stickers?
3.
In this contest here, the candidates were narrowed down to aerial rescue pup Skye versus snow rescue dog Everest. And when all the stickers were tallied, it turns out our decade and a half away from voting age voters had decided to look up.
Is the winner? Is it Skye or Everest?
Even if the big vote didn't shake out the way some of these kids wanted, this teacher here notes that's perfectly fine. As you know, that's part of the whole learning process.
Feeling those feelings, but making sure we're doing it in a safe way and a respectful way for not only other people, but for ourselves. We always say it's okay to be upset, it's okay to cry, but it's what you do after that and how we respect others while we're feeling upset and hurt and frustrated and scared, and even labeling those emotions. This is why I wanted this candidate to win and they didn't win, or this outcome is what I wanted to happen and it didn't happen.
That same teacher also observed that many grown-up politicians could learn something from coming back to preschool, which rings pretty true when you consider some have spent years upon years struggling to cope with disappointment. Anyway, what a weird week. My name is Greg Ott, and this is At The News Refresh, where we scour the internet all week for the weirdest, strangest, funniest, and most interesting news stories we can find, put them together in a nice little package for you to watch at the end of the week at your leisure. Coming up, we've got a Parrot Hoarder, mold on auction, Elon Musk's typographic proclivities, and much, much more. But before we get going, give this video a like and a hot subscribe. It really helps us reach a lot more people through the algorithm. Thanks. Now with that in mind, let's actually see what happened right after that vice presidential debate in New York. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz went full tourist in New York City, stopping by a slice joint in Manhattan after his VP debate with JD Vance. And after some careful observation from behind glass, the man on a quest to become the world's preeminent second banana made a key decision.
Let's be saucy.
Even flavor-averse Midwesterners know that New York City is home to the world's best pizza. And unlike some of what you may have heard on the debate stage, that's not hyperbole. As an annual ranking of the best pizzerias in the world recently gave the Lower East Side's Una Pizza Napolitana the #1 spot. The 50 top pizzas Pizza World 2024 rankings, which lists the 100 top pizza places, stems from this Italian organization that sends anonymous pizza inspectors all over the globe. And the Pizza Rat's hometown just claimed 3 spots in the top 50. There's also a 2024 Top Pizza Slice USA ranking, with La Industry Pizza in first, plus 2 other NYC joints in the top 10. Tim Walz went to Justino's Pizza, which didn't make this list, though a recent Yelp review by Lenny G said the prices were reasonable and the pizza was okay.
I hate Las Vegas. It's the worst in America.
That's Billie Joe Armstrong of 90s rock band Green Day at a recent show in San Francisco, trashing the iconic home of Circus Circus, Wayne Newton, and Discount Prime Rib. And, well, it's since led Vegas area radio stations to do this. On Instagram, KOMP 92.3 said they've pulled any and all Green Day from their playlist. And X107.5 Extreme Radio claims their station is banning all Green Day music too. The American Idiot's anti-Vegas tirade appears to stem from the band's ties to San Francisco's East Bay area and the Oakland Athletics relocation to Las Vegas.
We don't take no from people like John Fisher, who sells the Oakland A's to Las Vegas.
Indeed, on Instagram, he recently posted a video of himself at a Toronto venue, spray painting over the A's logo with that of the Bees, the Oakland Ballers independent baseball team that the Athletic says he's an investor in. The A's played their final game in Oakland last week, bidding farewell to their home since 1968, ahead of their temporary stop in Sacramento before landing in Sin City in 2028. It's not yet clear if and when Vegas radio will once again embrace the type of day that gamblers want to see, but I wouldn't hold out hope for getting married by an Armstrong impersonator anytime soon. By the way, Green Day, consider this your wake-up call. September's over.
We've seen some bad stuff, but this, you know, it was bad.
So that's the executive director of a bird sanctuary in Tennessee, and the bad situation she's talking about pertains to dozens of these things.
We have 5 cockatoos, 2 African greys, an Amazon, 8 conures.
In total, this bird sanctuary just got its talons on 40 parrots from a parrot hoarder. Yes, a parrot hoarder, who the head of that sanctuary claims had been given a warning for months by an animal control in Kentucky to take better care of the birds, only for them to remain in squalid conditions.
Infested with roaches, spiders.
After animal control returned to the hoarder's place to find several parrots unalive, or ex-parrots in Python speak, they took them all away and asked the sanctuary to help care for the creatures.
Already had extra cages from where people donated, fresh food and water and pellets and everything ready, so.
In addition to the 40 parrots from the hoarder, the sanctuary is already caring for another 120 birds. And the director of this place notes that people can underestimate how difficult it is to care for one of these creatures, let alone, you know, 40.
We preach to have a plan, you know, or reach out for help. If you find yourself getting overwhelmed, you know, reach out for help.
This is the original house that was featured in the Purple Rain film, and Airbnb and our partners have reimagined it, if you will, in celebration of the 40th anniversary of the film.
That's an Airbnb spokesperson showing off this home in Minneapolis, the very one featured in Prince's iconic 1984 film Purple Rain. And with all due respect to the basement you're trying to rent out, this place has been gussied up with a replica of the kid's bedroom, a lounge full of instruments you can play, a smoke alarm, and closets featuring Prince's actual clothing from the Purple Rain tour. And while you can't wear any of it because you are 100% not Prince, no offense, there are plenty of other things you're free to try on.
And what guests will be able to do themselves is actually play around with a selection of really iconic 80s outfits and looks and styles so that they can kind of engage their inner rock star themselves.
This whole thing is part of Airbnb's Icons program, which has also offered up other better than your apartment rental spots like the House from Up and the Musée d'Orsay in Paris.
We'll be offering 25 one-night stays for up to 4 guests each. That will be taking place from late October through mid-December.
To request a $7 per person stay, Airbnb also requires a 500-word essay, and you can try to get a spot beginning October 2nd at 6 a.m. Pacific at airbnb.com/prince. It's not clear if you'll be required to take out the trash like at a normal Airbnb, but in case you're hoping to party there like it's 1999, bad news. House rules say no parties. Elon Musk just put out a pretty bold statement, and I mean that quite literally. Due to immediate and excessive use of bold font on X, it will be removed from view in the main timeline. He claims his eyes are bleeding, which we're unable to independently verify, though the man in the samurai outfit kind of brought the situation upon himself. A few months after completing his purchase of Twitter in October of 2022, the company's @Right account announced that Twitter would support tweets of up to 10,000 characters in length with bold and italic text formatting, but only for Twitter Blue users, or paid subscribers contributing to Elon's apparent different ophthalmological discharge. In fact, among the types of people making eye-searing all bold X posts are presidential candidate Donald Trump, who's recently been making explicit use of emphasized text on the competitor to his own social network in everything from promotions of his wife's book to prayers casting Satan to hell. Elon also observes that right-skewing text won't be spared either, as italics and other formatting is being abused for engagement farming on X. The platform he purchased for $44 billion that Fidelity just claimed has lost 79% of its value since becoming the richest man in the world's pet letter. Hey, real quick, once again, please give us a like and a hot subscribe. We're not trying to annoy you, I swear, we're just trying to get into more feeds on YouTube. You know how this stuff works, okay? Okay, thanks. Back to the stories. Would you pay 50 grand for this old mold? That's the high end of the price. This mold is expected to fetch an auction later this month. And it's a bit more valuable than that bread you forgot to finish because it helped change the course of modern medicine. As the inscription states, this is the mold that made penicillin, signed Alexander Fleming, the Scottish bacteriologist who accidentally stumbled upon the world's first antibiotic back in 1928, after he left some staph cultures next to an open window that were contaminated by an airborne mold, which he later noticed prevented normal growth by the staph. Not only would Fleming go on to share the 1945 Nobel Prize in Medicine for the discovery of penicillin, this auction house says he used some spare eyeglass lenses to create this little mold medallion that he gave to his niece as a gift. He'd go on to present similar medallions to public figures like Teddy Roosevelt, Winston Churchill, and Pope Pius XII. They didn't have gift cards back then. The auction of Fleming's niece's mold medallion starts October 23rd as part of Bonham's History of Science and Technology collection, and the auction house thinks it's going to go for $30,000 to $50,000. Cheap at any price, really. It's official. Wawa is way better than Sheetz. That's not my opinion. It's according to a brand new study of customer satisfaction at convenience stores, so please don't sick John Fetterman on me. Amid a tight battle for customer satisfaction supremacy, this inaugural study by the American Customer Satisfaction Index spent 7 months surveying thousands of people about things like value and quality at convenience stores. And out of a 100-point scale, Wawa took the top spot with a score of 82, followed closely by Quick Trip with a QU at 81, Buc-ee's in third, tied with Murphy USA at 80. Sheetz, a measly 79, just 1 point ahead of Quick Trip with a KW. And even just at the regional level, Wawa still beats its Northeast competitor by 2 points with 83 to Sheetz's 81. The Director of Research Emeritus for the Satisfaction Group notes that convenience stores are becoming serious competitors in the food service industry. Earlier this year, 7-Eleven, score of 7.5, started rolling out things like ramen and rice balls from its Japanese locations in some American stores. Still, every other possible option outclassed Shell, which ranks dead last behind BP, Speedway, and all other convenience store brands. Damn, people must really not like Shell. Maybe they shouldn't have slept on all those internal climate change studies from decades ago.
I'm down here on this eccentric, very British day, honouring an old tradition where freemen of the City of London can drive their sheep toll-free, free of charge, across the bridge into the City of London in order to sell their produce.
That's actor Damian Lewis, Brody from Homeland himself, shepherding a bunch of damn sheep over London's Southwark Bridge on Sunday in a ceremonial nod to medieval times. This thing, believe it or not, is called the Sheep Drive. It's a charity fundraiser that started in 2013 with roots that harken back to a 12th century tradition. That's organized today by the very old English Worshipful Company of Woolmen. Bobby Axelrod here has been made a freeman of the City of London, and so he's got the right to usher sheep across the bridge toll-free. And well, look at him go. Here's the Woolman's master.
Being a freeman was equivalent to the very first passport, and you could go in and out of the walls of the city, you could travel around England, and you wouldn't be captured and become a serf, almost an indentured slave. So what we do is, we have one of the rights is to take your sheep over the river free of toll to market. So we celebrate that today.
A sheep farmer whose flock came from north of London for this notes that they only picked well-behaved, good-looking creatures for this affair. I'll let you be the judge of that. And he observes that Britain's wool industry needs support.
As a wool producer, fairly dire in some ways. It's hardly actually worth us shearing them for the wool to produce. But we need to keep the cruise ships going because they take a lot of carpets. And if we can get it into insulation in houses, there's a big push for that. It's a great insulator, so hopefully we can keep pushing that, and that'd be great for the wool industry.
As part of this whole sheep shindig, there was also a showcase for innovative wool products, like these wool plant pots.
So we wanted to find a way to reduce plastic and to use unloved wool, so we created wool pots. The benefits of using wool is that it's biodegradable, naturally compostable, and with a wool pot, it allows more oxygen through to the roots, promotes stronger root growth, promotes stronger plant growth, and also it insulates against heat and cold, so it basically traps moisture in, which gives you your strong plant growth.
In case any future sweaters got out of line, a sheepdog sat ready on the pavement. And Major Winters appears to have appreciated the chance to take on this period role.
I just played shepherd Shepherd Lewis was very fun.
Yeah, from Green Day to gas station food, it's another weird week down. And we'll be back next week with another collection of all things unusual, notable, and parrot hoarding, if applicable. My name is Greg Ott, and don't forget to leave us a comment if you want to chime in. In this recent video about why posting goodbye Meta AI is pointless, Huge Bass just wrote, "Good video. Thanks, Huge Bass."